Hello everyone, I'm Kalen North and welcome back to Spirit Island. Today I'm going to be taking on the Great River scenario, which I've been struggling with recently. Goodness, on this computer I haven't even beaten it once apparently. So I'm pairing this with France 6, which I'm finding very difficult just because they generate so many explorers with this extra explorer that they get on the coastal lands, and there's just towns everywhere. I'm not sure exactly what the solution is. I was talking to Tepid Goose about it, and he suggested that I try Lure, and that it should sort of hard counter the matchup, and I'm not very good with Lure, so I did try it earlier, and things went south. So I'm here to try this again, and things are quite probably going to go south again. So I hope you enjoy watching this. I don't know that I'm going to enjoy playing it. Let's do this. All right, so invaders start out with a bunch of towns across the top of the board. That's pretty obnoxious. They explore in the sands, which I think is good for us because it means they won't explore in the sands second, which would be really bad if they just stuck 4 explorers in land 3. So let's go ahead, and I think I want to play Softly Beckon Ever Inward turn 1. And I probably want to play Perils of the Deepest Island. So I'm going to try and grow into land 4. I'm going to gain, I guess, a plant element and play Perils of the Deepest Island and Softly Beckon. We'll see how this goes. So we're going to be able to deal with one town somewhere. They explored in the mountains, which is, I think, okay, but I'm not totally sure. I think I want to set up my... Do I want to set up my big kill zone in land 7, or do I want to do it in land 4? Or even land 6? I suppose I could have put presence in land 6 to try and set things up over there, but I didn't think about that in time. Let's put the extra explorer for now in land 4. And then I'm going to gather... I think I'm going to try and gather a bunch of towns and explorers into some of these different lands. Let's go ahead and forsake society to chase after dreams in land 8 so that that town doesn't immediately murder us. I'm going to Never Heard From Again there as well, I think. And then Softly Beckon Ever Inward. The towns are going to migrate out, but I can pull the towns, one of the towns in from land 5, and the explorers from land 7 at least. So I think let's do that. Let's pull 2 explorers. Let's pull... I don't want to pull the town from land 1. I do want to pull the town from land 5, I think. Although it's just going to... If I pull the town from land 5, it's just going to end up in land 7 anyway. So it doesn't make a difference, really. I could... Well, let's see. If I pull the town from land 1, then I can control it getting into land 7. And I could try and load that up with tokens. Next turn, or no, that's not soon enough, because we can get a little bit. We can get a Badlands and a Beast in there, but then there'll be, you know, a bunch of towns going in there shortly thereafter. So let's I guess let's grab one town in. It'll still move, but that's fine. We'll grab a Beast token. Let's grab a couple of Dahan, and then we can push those Dahan with Perils of the Deepest Island when we load this up. Yeah, let's do Perils of the Deepest Island on land 7, because that's going to be where we try and actually nuke the towns, I think. All right, now this turn I'm gonna, I guess, play Gift of the Untamed Wild and Swallowed by the Wilderness. I'm going to take out the town in land 7 so that it doesn't build, and so that just works out all right. As long as Jungles doesn't come up, I think we're okay, but I'm not totally sure. Let's try and take a draft here. Let's gain a minor, see if we get something useful. Call to Guard could be nice. Dahan movement especially I like into France. I know some people aren't as big on it. But Poison Dew, actually, now that I'm looking slightly more, destroy all explorers in a wetland or jungle. That has got to be the pick. Renewing Rain could be nice. Get some wilds down. Wilds are really good against France. Reaching Grasp, not so interesting. Definitely going to take Poison Dew, though. Let's see how this goes. All right, and then I'm going to get an animal element, and I'll grow into land 6 so that I can potentially pull things back into there. And we will Swallowed by the Wilderness, and I think Poison Dew, because they're going to explore wetlands or jungles, in which case I will either have 4 explorers in land 4 or 4 explorers in land 1. Which I can't afford to play Poison Dew. So what am I even saying? I guess we don't do that. Yeah, I guess we can't do that. So never mind. We're just gonna give to the Untamed Wild and try and set something up. So let's destroy this town. Lose 2 fear per player. No, lose a fear card. That's fun. Add a beast to a land adjacent to beasts. I think, do we want to put that in land 4 or in land 7? I think land 7 is better. Just because that's going to be a better kill site for towns. And then we lose a Dahan. Let's lose a Dahan in land 8. Because then we potentially have some benefit for land 4. Invaders ravaging the sands, building the mountains, exploring the wetlands. Okay. Well, I guess I should have found a way to play Poison Dew then. Add an explorer to a land. Let's add the explorer to. Let's add it to land 7. Gah, so many. Okay, so next turn they're threatening to build 4 towns and then build a city and get a triangle trade. Here they're threatening to build 2 towns. Like we just die so quickly here. I do not see how I'm supposed to do this. I guess I will give to the Untamed Wild, add a Wilds token to land 4, and never heard from again there. Alright, so we lose a town off the edge of the board. We lose a town to land 8. And let's go ahead and reclaim. Gain some energy probably so that we can softly beckon this turn. We want to Swallowed by the Wilderness again, I think, so we can clear land 7. And I guess hope that our event or our fear card stops us from just dying to the coasts. I'm going to gain a moon element off of that so I can play these 2. Swallowed by the Wilderness there. And local diaspora. Okay, that'll do. That'll do. That'll save us something. I'm not a huge fan of this beast event because we're losing beasts from where I want them. So let's, I guess, move 1 into 6 and 1 into 5. Sure, 1 into 5. Push 2 from a land with blight to a land without blight. Let's push those into probably land 5 again. Or we could just concentrate them in land 3. Because that might... Oh no, we don't want them there. I'm just trying to think about like what we're going to do for Slave Rebellion in a minute here. Let's push them in land 5. Alright, each of those lands, defend 3, doesn't do anything. Wetlands build, and then sands build, and then they explore in the jungles, and I guess we add a town to land 4? Do I add a town to land 4? Or do I take the blight in land 8? I might take the blight in land 8, because I'm really nervous about this town count. Don't really need the sacred site. We can throw the explorer into land 7, and then they get another 2 explorers in land 1. So that's great. Let's softly beckon here in land 8, or in land 6 rather. Pull a bunch of things from land 8. Is that right? And then we'd pull the explorers from land 1. We can turn 1 town into a couple of explorers. So maybe we turn one of these towns into explorers somewhere. Where do we turn the town into explorers? I don't want more explorers. Like, that's part of the problem here. I think I softly beckon, though, in land 6 to get rid of, well, at least one explorer in land 1. But I think I'd rather get rid of both. Get rid of the, pull the town in, gather some beasts. Except all those towns are gonna, like, 2 of them are gonna go to land 8, one's gonna go to land 7. So I don't want to take all those beasts out. We can let 2 more towns escape off the edge of the map. So we could, no. So let's take those 2 explorers. Let's take that town. Let's take that beast token. We'll leave the other one in land 8, and then we'll pull 2 Dahan in. To deal with the explorers that are left there, I guess, because the towns are going to move out. And then I'll stop one of those towns and pull it into land 7. All right. So this turn, this jungle is going to build a city. This jungle is going to build a city. Both of those are fine, sort of. This wetland ravages just fine. Can we take time to do something like Poison Dew? We could go to 3 card plays and play all our cards. That would get us not quite enough air for our left innate, but it would get us our right innate to add a Badlands and then destroy some stuff. And potentially, yeah, we could even deal 2 damage. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna try that. Let's add a presence. Let's go into land 5 just so we have some more flexibility. We don't need any sacred sites right now. Let's gain a plant element. Let's throw all these cards down. All right, Slave Rebellion. I screwed up the Slave Rebellion again. Oh, lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Let's add a Strife in... Strife doesn't work for this ability, does it? No, it doesn't. It doesn't care about Strife. Let's put a Strife on one of these jungle towns, because it'll be around for a little longer. Alright, population rises. We add a town, so that's not great. Sand Fever Outbreak, we get... well, at least we get a disease in land 2, I guess. Let's throw the town in land 7, I think, is where we're going to be hitting our nuke, hopefully, this turn. Add a disease to the Sandstorm Mountain. Oh, no, it adds it to that one. That's fine. And then we get some energy. On each board, push 1 from a land with that. Okay, so we can actually push this town from land 8 into land 7. So they won't build a city, which I think is slightly better. So let's ignore 2 explorers during the Ravage here. They build a city there. They build a town there. Okay, so we're at our limit. Good thing we didn't get an escalation. Oh my goodness, land 1 is out of control again already. So that's delightful. But let's Poison Dew there, because, oh my goodness, we need to. Perils of the Deepest Island. I'm going to load up land 7. We'll add a beast token as well. Gift of the Untamed Wild. Let's add a wilds token to land 7. Forsake Society to chase after dreams. Let's go for... I think I need to stop one of the towns in land 7 because there's so many of them. Because I can only deal 5 damage, only 5 damage, and destroy all the explorers. So let's go ahead and do that with... We'll let the town in the jungle escape, and then we'll change one of the towns in land 7 into 2 explorers. We don't want to gather them out because we want to never herd from again there. Destroy all the explorers. Destroy both towns. Alright, we got to Terror 2. We haven't died. We haven't died yet. Let's reclaim. So Swallowed by the Wilderness is going to clear a bunch of stuff in land 7. Land 4 is going to Blight and Cascade. I don't think we need to gain more energy right now. So I think we can instead take this moment to maybe draft... Do we want to draft for a major? Maybe not, because we can also set up... We can also set up our innate to try and get rid of the cities here. Although we'd only be able to get rid of the city in land 4 probably. And I was hoping for a disease in land 2. That's right. Oh my goodness. So that's going to build 4 towns. That's going to build 2 towns. What am I going to do about that? I'm going to kill a couple of towns, and hopefully that'll get me to relative safety. Yeah, so we kill 2 towns in land 7, and we don't have any other fast stuff. So let's gain a minor, see what we get. Entrancing Apparitions, not enough defend for like a land 4. Roiling Bog and Snagging Thorn, we don't have the sacred sites for it. Gift of Living Energy could be useful. Dire Metamorphosis, we love tokens, but I don't think we can take the Blight right now. I think we take... Gift of Living Energy. Just because it can help us fuel that right innate. And we can maybe blow some stuff up next turn with a major. So let's softly beckon ever inward, I think. As our last power. Or do we want... No, we want more plant, potentially. Poison Dew will help with land 1, because we might get another Wetlands Explorer. So let's do Poison Dew. Let's do Swallowed by the Wilderness, Gift of Living Energy. Let's try that out. See how that goes. All right, Gift of Living Energy on ourselves gets us an energy. That's not great, but we clear out that land. Destroy the Unnatural. Invaders do +3 damage when ravaging in lands with presence. Lovely. Prey on the Unwary is going to destroy a bunch of explorers at least. Like that a lot. And then with 3 among its lands, we may use a slow power now. That's not useful. That might be useful. Well, how many towns are they building? They're building 4 towns, 5, 6. And then there's going to be an escalation. So actually, no, I need to Poison Dew immediately on the sand or the mountain, probably. Or else I'm going to die to my town count. So I guess we're going to do that. Wow, that feels bad. Let's kill an explorer. Each player adds a strife somewhere. Oh, that's nice. We can potentially strife that city and see about avoiding the blight. Otherwise, we could strife one of these explorers and set one of the towns to be a little weaker. Do we want to do that, or let's strife the city and see if we can save the blight. On each board, remove a town. All right, that's what I like to see. All right, fear cards bailed us out for the moment. All right, mountains explore, and we are going to very much add a town to land 7, I think, because we can afford to have it go off the edge of the board, And that land, if it blights, we don't want that to do all the horrible things it's going to do. So let's put that there. And then we can add an explorer to... Well, we can add an explorer to land 7 as well, probably. All right. Never heard from again. Let's go ahead and hit land 4, I guess. All right, so that town escapes. So, and any more towns escape and we lose. But that'll be fine because we're going to try and nuke all this stuff before that happens. Let's reclaim, I think. Coastal lands are going to ravage, so we're going to take blight there, but not there. We can... I think we maybe take a major here. See if we get anything useful. And because we die to town count otherwise, I think. Because they build 2 towns here. They'll build again in land 1. And that'll build 2 more towns. Yeah, so we lose to town count there if we don't do something about this massive pile of towns. So we need to either get something good and fast in a draft, or we need to do Swallowed by the Wilderness. So let's try and get something good and fast in a draft. Let's gain a major. Spill Bitterness into the Earth. That's not quite what I was imagining, but that's interesting. We could take that and cascade some blight, certainly. Storm Swath, we could... well, that's slow. I always think of it as fast because you speed it up on lightning, but no, it is slow. Okay, I think we have to spill Bitterness into the Earth here because, again, if we wait too long, we just lose. So let's do this and take a cascade, and things will be horrible, and we will try and recover from it anyway. I'm going to forget Gift of Living Energy, and I'm going to place another presence, I think, rather than reclaiming. Let's go ahead and get our 2 energy spot so that we can actually afford to play 3 cards this turn. Probably go inland 4. Yeah, let's go inland 4 because that's where we're gonna hit with Spill Bitterness. And then we can play these 3. So let's Spill Bitterness, deal 7 damage. Sure, let's kill the city and 2 towns. And then we can kill the rest of the towns pretty easily next turn. Inland 7. And we'll have enough towns to survive land 1 and 2 both building. And that gets us a little bit closer to our win condition. Events, we're not near the next Slave Rebellion, so let's just add Badlands. Blighted Island, Thriving Communities. In 4 different lands with explorers or towns. Oh no! Okay, where can we do this that's going to hurt the least? So let's do it in land 4 for sure. If we do it in land 2, that doesn't change what they build at all, so that's good. If we do it in land 1, it does mean a triangle trade would hit. Oh, that is not the blight card I wanted to see. I think we're going to just lose now because of that. I guess if we do land 3, it'll blight in the Cascade, or not blight in the Cascade, blight in the Ravage. But clear the town. And we definitely need some kind of help from our event. Let's go with land. If I do land 7, then that land will kill me. So let's not do land 7. Let's do land 1. Let's cascade the blight to land 5. And then we can add... I suppose we can add a strife to the mountain. Because we can't do damage there anyway. And then we can add a Badlands to land 5. Lesser spirits imperiled. Okay. I don't think we want to tend to our own strength here. I think we definitely want to forge a web, because otherwise we're in major trouble. So let's forge a web. We'll forget Poison Dew, I guess. And we get a Destroy a Presence here in land 8, and we can permanently gain... Oh, let's gain a plant. Why not? Gain a plant. Push a beast to a land without buildings. Let's push from land 8 to land 7. Get a fear. Gather 1 or 2 Dahan into lands with setup symbols. Okay, so coastal lands are going to ravage. So we can gather 2 Dahan into land 1 at least. Lands with presence have defend 2. That's not what I needed. Okay, so here we take a blight. And here we take a blight, but we kill a town, but then here we take a blight and a cascade and die. Okay. Yeah, I don't see how to do this. That is the best run I've had of this yet, and I'm not even sure what I did wrong. I'm sure I did something wrong there. Turn 6 loss. I mean, I screwed up the Slave Rebellion is probably part of it. The Blight cards certainly did not help. What else? Well, I don't know. This is one of those where I'm probably going to try and get like Goose or someone to go watch this video and yell at me about what I did wrong, and then maybe I can talk him into coming on and going through this matchup once with me, if it really is such a hard counter anyway. So I'll throw that shade at you, Tepid Goose, because I'm totally defeated by this. All right, well, everyone, thanks for watching. Have a good rest of your day, and I hope to come back with a win on this matchup at some point, but I'm certainly not there yet. Thanks for watching again.